You can feel it, can't you? There is a tension in the air, a palpable electric hum that has nothing to do with the turning of the seasons or the noise of the world. It's a spiritual static, a feeling of being stretched taut between two worlds. One foot is planted in the life you know, the reality that has been, while the other is already stepping into a future so powerful, so different, that its gravity is beginning to warp the present moment. This is the feeling of the precipice. This is the energy of a great convergence, and it is gathering specifically, intentionally around this very point in time. You are not alone in this. All around the world, souls like yours are waking up to the strangeness. The synchronicities have become louder, almost insistent. The recurring numbers are no longer a gentle nudge from the universe. They are a constant blinking marquee sign, appearing on clocks, on license plates, on receipts, screaming a message you almost understand. You have moments where your current reality feels thin, almost transparent, like a veil you could reach out and tear. You catch glimpses of something else shimmering just behind it, a memory of a conversation you haven't had yet, a flash of a place you've never been but feels more like home than anywhere you've ever known. And it is exhausting. This is the secret pain we must validate right now. Living in this state of divine anticipation, this constant almost, can be profoundly isolating. It can lead you to question your own sanity. You feel this monumental shift gathering on the horizon of your soul, but the physical world continues, for the most part, to play by the old rules. This dissonance, this gap between what your intuition knows and what your eyes see, is a breeding ground for doubt. Is it just wishful thinking? Am I making this all up? It is like hearing the faint, beautiful music of your future life playing through a thick wall. You can hear the melody. You can feel the rhythm in your bones, but you can't make out the words. And the uncertainty of whether it's real or just a sound in your own head is a unique form of torment. Let me be the first to tell you, with absolute certainty, you are not imagining it. The frustration is real, but it is the final symptom of a reality that is dissolving. The doubt is not a sign of your weakness, but a testament to how profoundly you are connected to two timelines at once. What you are experiencing is the necessary friction that occurs when a new world is being born within the shell of the old one. This is why this October is different. It is not a beginning in the way we traditionally think of it. It is not the start of a new chapter. It is a convergence point, a singularity. It is the mathematical and spiritual point on the cosmic calendar where the timeline of the person you have been and the timeline of the person you were always destined to become finally and irrevocably merge. All the paths, all the lessons, all the synchronicities have been leading you here, to this precise moment where the wall between the two realities becomes so thin, it simply ceases to exist. But to navigate this final, delicate phase, feeling is not enough. Intuition must be confirmed. The soul's whisper needs an undeniable echo in the world of form. There is a final signal that the universe sends just before the timelines collapse into one. It is an overlooked sign, a subtle but powerful piece of evidence that turns this deep internal feeling into a concrete, unshakable certainty. It is a code, hidden in plain sight, that proves the shift is not coming. It is already in motion, and I am going to reveal exactly what it is. Have you felt that strange dissonance, as if you're living in one reality while your soul is already receiving signals from the next? If you feel this resonance, if these words are speaking a truth your spirit already knows, comment "I hear the signal" below. This is not for me. This is for you. It is a powerful declaration to the universe. It is an act of anchoring your awareness, of telling your conscious mind to align with your intuitive self. It is the first step in turning down the noise of the old world so you can finally, clearly, hear the music of the new one. That beautiful, faint music you've been hearing through the walls of your reality. It isn't a figment of your imagination. It has a name. It is a specific, measurable, and profoundly sacred phenomenon. We call it the quantum pre-echo, and it is the central mechanism behind the October Singularity Code. This isn't just poetry. This is physics meeting metaphysics. Think of it like a sonic boom. A powerful jet breaks the sound barrier, and the sound of its arrival reaches you long after the jet has already passed. The quantum pre-echo operates on a similar principle, but in reverse. Your future, reality, your higher timeline, is moving toward your present moment at an impossible speed. It is so dense with light, so vibrationally potent, that the echo of its arrival is being sent forward through time. You are hearing the sonic boom of your future, landing in your present before you can physically see the vessel that carries it. This is the key. You must understand that your future self, the one living your deepest fulfillment, is not in a distant land or a far-off time. That reality is not separate from you. In the quantum field, all possibilities exist simultaneously as overlapping waves of potential. Your current reality is one wave. Your destined reality is another, vibrating at a much higher, purer frequency, right here, right now, occupying the very same space. The October singularity is the moment these two waves are scheduled to collapse into one coherent stream. The quantum pre-echo is the evidence of this convergence. It is the momentary, accidental collapse of that future probability wave into your present observation. It is a leak, a crack of light from the world next door. These are the moments you have been dismissing as strange coincidences or tricks of the mind. These are the glitches in the matrix. It's that moment of impossible layered déjà vu, where you not only feel like you've lived the moment before, but you can feel the memory of remembering it. It's the object you searched for everywhere, only for it to appear in the most obvious place as if it materialized from thin air. It's the conversation you have with a friend where you know, with bone-deep certainty, that you have had this exact exchange before, word for word, in a dream you can no longer recall. It's seeing a flicker of movement in your peripheral vision, a shape of impossible light, that vanishes the moment you turn to face it. These are not errors in your perception. They are artifacts. They are fragments of a more coherent reality bleeding through into the static of this one. They are signal flares from your future self telling you, I am here. I am waiting. We are converging. So why, if the signal is already here, does it feel so faint? Why has the full shift not yet occurred? This is the central misunderstanding that has kept so many souls in a state of agonizing limbo. The problem is not a lack of effort on your part. In fact, your effort is the very source of the interference. In the quantum world, the act of observation changes the thing being observed. When you are desperately searching for signs, when you are striving, pushing, and trying to force your new reality into existence, you are observing the field with an energy of lack. You are screaming into the universe, it is not here yet. And the universe, which only ever mirrors your energetic state, has no choice but to collapse the wave of probability back into the reality where it is not here yet. Your straining to see the future is precisely what keeps it at bay. You are creating observational interference. Your desire, charged with the anxiety of its own unfulfillment, creates a powerful static that drowns out the subtle, high-frequency broadcast of your emerging timeline. You are like someone trying to listen for a whisper in the middle of a shouting match with yourself. The problem has never been the signal. The problem is the receiver. Your spiritual work is not to chase the shift. It is to quiet the chase. The frantic search for evidence is what obscures the evidence that is already all around you. You have been trying to force open a door that has been unlocked the entire time. The tension you feel is not the door resisting. It is the strain of your own unnecessary pushing. Can you recall a recent unexplainable moment, a glitch that felt like a fragment from a different version of your life? Take a moment. Go back. It doesn't have to be dramatic. A small tear in the fabric of the mundane. A moment of impossible timing. A flash of knowing that had no logical source. Find it. Hold it in your mind. Describe one of these glitches you've experienced in the comments. Not for me, but for you. To write it down is to make it real. To honor it as data, not as delusion. It is the first step in clearing the static. And this is where the great misunderstanding lies. This is the subtle distortion that has kept you in a state of suspended animation, waiting for a permission slip that was already in your pocket. You have been told to look for the signs, to wait for the signal. But what if the signal has been broadcasting this entire time? What if the music of your new reality is not a faint melody from a distant room, but the very atmosphere you are breathing? A frequency so pervasive, so total, that you have mistaken it for silence. The great revelation is this. The quantum pre-echo is not a sign you are waiting for. It is a sign that is already happening. You are not waiting for the shift. You are in the middle of it. This is not a future event. It is a present moment perception. The timeline is not collapsing soon. The collapse is the very fabric of this moment. You are living inside the Singularity's event horizon right now. This changes everything. It shifts your entire role in this cosmic process. You have been behaving like a radio listener, sitting by the dial, frustrated, turning it back and forth, trying to find a clear station through the static, hoping to catch a clear broadcast from the future. This is the old paradigm of seeking, of striving, of waiting. The truth is, you are not the listener. You are the antenna. Let that sink in. An antenna does not create the broadcast. It does not search for the broadcast. It does not strain to hear the signal. Its only function is to be precisely what it is, in a state of perfect reception, so that the signal that is already filling the air can be received. Its job is not one of action, but of alignment. Your job is not to build the new reality. Your destiny is not something you must chase down and wrestle into existence. Your task, the only task that matters right now, is to stop trying to create and simply start to recognize. This is the great shift in responsibility. You move from a state of passive, anxious hope to one of active, empowered recognition. The pressure is off. The striving can cease. The desperate search for signs can finally end because you are not looking for a needle in a haystack. You are the needle, and the magnetic pull of the universe is already aligning you. So why haven't you felt it fully? Why the frustration? Why the doubt? Because of the static. Every moment you spend in anxiety and doubt in the frantic energy of trying to make it happen, you are generating your own interference. This striving energy is a low-frequency hum that drowns out the delicate, high-frequency signal of your emerging reality. Peace is not a reward you get after the shift. It is the very mechanism of perception itself. Allowance is the technology. When you stop struggling against your current reality, when you cease judging it, when you release the desperate need for the future to arrive, you lower the static. You quiet the noise of your own resistance. And in that quiet, in that profound peace, a new clarity emerges. The signal was always there. You were just making too much noise to hear it. The October Singularity, this code we are deciphering, is not an event you arrive at on a specific date. It is not a destination. It is a state of perception you awaken to. It is the moment the antenna within you becomes so still, so exquisitely calibrated by its own peace, that it can finally, perfectly, receive the broadcast that has been playing for you all along. It is the moment you realize the kingdom of heaven is not a place you go to, but a frequency you tune into. And this leads to the most important question you will ever ask yourself on this journey. What if the profound peace you've been seeking is not the result of the shift, but the very key that allows you to perceive it? What if everything you thought was the finish line is actually the starting block? You have been trying to solve a spiritual equation in reverse. You've been waiting for the new reality to bring you peace, when the universe has been waiting for your peace to reveal the new reality. This is the epiphany. This is the turning point. Your power was never in doing. It was in being. Your strength was never in the fight. It was in the surrender. Your clarity was never in the answer. It was in the silence. The work is not to change the world. The work is to change your perception of the world that is already changing, to recognize it, to acknowledge it, to allow its truth to overwrite the fading simulation of your past. You can stop waiting now. You can put down the heavy burden of trying to figure it all out. Your only task is to cultivate the inner stillness that allows the signal to become clear, to become the antenna, to simply and profoundly recognize what is already here. Like this video, if you're ready to stop waiting and start recognizing. An idea is a map, but an experience is the territory itself. You now understand the quantum pre-echo intellectually. You hold the map, but for this knowledge to collapse your reality, for it to become your lived and breathed truth, you must walk the territory. You must feel it in your cells. You must transform this belief into a profound, undeniable, experiential certainty. So I invite you now, not just to listen to my words, but to join me in an experience, a calibration of your quantum field. If it is safe for you to do so, find a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in filling your lungs with the air of this present moment. And as you exhale, release the day, release the noise, release the need to understand, and simply open yourself to the need to feel. Another deep breath in, and a slow, complete breath out. Good. Now, bring your awareness inward, deeper than the skin, deeper than the bone. Bring your attention to the subtle energy field that is you, your inner atmosphere. And for a moment, I want you to simply feel the familiar frequency of your current reality, the one you have been living in. Do not judge it, do not resist it. Simply observe it, feel its texture. For many, it has a certain density, a familiar weight in the chest or shoulders. It's the vibration of trying, of pushing, of striving. It's the low hum of anxiety, the subtle static of doubt. It's the feeling of waiting for the train that is always just a little late. It's the energetic signature of your struggles, your limitations, the stories you have told yourself about who you are and what is possible. Feel it now. This frequency is not wrong. It is not bad. It has been your home. It has been your teacher. It has brought you to this exact moment of awakening. So honor it, thank it, and now, with your full intention, you are going to make a choice. You are going to turn down the volume. Imagine an invisible dial in your consciousness. This dial controls the intensity of this old, familiar frequency. See your hand reaching for it. Feel the cool certainty of your touch. And now, very slowly, begin to turn it down. Click by click, the dense static begins to soften. The heavy hum begins to fade into the background. The vibration of struggle loses its grip, becoming quieter and quieter and quieter still. You are not fighting it. You are simply withdrawing your attention from it. You are letting it become a distant echo, a song that has already finished playing. Breathe and let it go. Now you find yourself in a space of profound stillness, a gentle quiet. But this quiet is not empty. This silence is pregnant with possibility. It is the canvas upon which a new reality can be painted. And in this sacred quiet, I want you to listen. Not with your ears, but with your soul. Listen for a new frequency. At first, it will be almost imperceptible. A subtle, high-pitched hum at the very edge of your perception. Do not strain for it. Do not search for it. Simply create the space for it to be heard. It is the faint, beautiful music you have been hearing through the wall your whole life. This is the quantum pre-echo of your soul's destination. It is the frequency of your future, higher vibrational self, broadcasting itself back through time into your present moment of awareness. Let your attention rest upon it. As you focus on this subtle resonance, you will notice it grows stronger. What was a faint hum begins to feel like a crystalline vibration. What was a distant sound becomes a warm light blooming in the center of your chest. This is the frequency of your new reality, and I want you to feel its qualities. Notice the lightness. It feels like expansion. It feels like the opposite of that old, familiar weight. It feels like your cells are being filled with light, becoming less dense, more luminous. Notice the peace. This is not a peace that comes from having all the answers. It is a deep, innate knowing that all is well. It is the peace that surpasses all understanding, because it is not born of the logical mind, but of the soul. It is the somatic certainty that you are home. Breathe it in. Allow this frequency to expand from your heart center outwards. Let it fill every cell in your body. Let it ripple through your energy field, recalibrating your entire being to this new, higher state of existence. This feeling, this lightness, this profound and unshakable peace, this is not something you are reaching for in the future. This is the proof that your future is reaching for you now. This is the feeling state of your highest timeline. And by feeling it now, you are collapsing the wave function. You are making it your dominant reality. You have just transformed the concept of the pre-echo from an idea you believe in your mind into a truth you know in your very bones. This is real. Stay with this feeling for another moment. This is your truth. This is who you are becoming. No, this is who you already are. Now, when you are ready, gently begin to bring your awareness back to your physical body. Feel the chair beneath you, the air on your skin, but do not leave that new frequency behind. Bring it with you. Open your eyes, knowing that you are looking out from a new state of being. The world may look the same, but you are not. You have calibrated your internal world, and as within, so without. As you tuned into that higher frequency, what was the first feeling or truth that your future self broadcasted back to you? To anchor this new calibration, comment, "I am the new frequency." That calibration you just felt was not a momentary experience, it was an initiation. You are no longer waiting for a signal from a distant shore. You are no longer the listener with your ear pressed against the wall, hoping to hear a faint tune. That role has dissolved. Your new identity has been activated. You are the signal keeper. This is not a passive title. It is an active, sacred function. Your role from this moment forward is not to search, but to guard. Not to hope, but to acknowledge. You are the guardian of the new frequency you have just anchored within your own being. This requires a new way of living, a new set of inner tools not for building the new reality, but for allowing it to fully materialize around you with grace and velocity. It is a framework for practical confidence in a world that still appears uncertain. The first tool is for your logical mind. It is for the part of you that craves evidence, the inner skeptic that needs to see the data before it will release its grip on the old reality. We will call this your pre-echo log. This can be a physical journal or a simple note on your phone. Its purpose is not to analyze, but to witness. It is to build an undeniable case file for the miraculous, proving to yourself day by day that the shift is not a fantasy, but a physically manifesting fact. Every time a glitch occurs, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, you will log it. That moment of impossible déjà vu where you knew what someone would say before they said it. Log it. The object that disappears from one place and reappears in another, defying all rational explanation. Log it. That sudden, inexplicable scent of a place you haven't visited in years, or the fleeting glimpse of a person in the periphery who couldn't possibly be there. You will note the time, the place, and the raw sensation of the event. You are not writing a story. You are recording a data point from a higher timeline. This log becomes your ledger of the impossible. Over days and weeks, this collection of evidence will dismantle the fortress of doubt brick by brick. Your logical mind, presented with a pattern of irrefutable data, will have no choice but to concede. It will finally accept that the laws of your old world no longer exclusively apply. The second tool is for your spirit. It is the in-the-moment practice that strengthens your connection to the new timeline. This is the acknowledgement protocol. It is a simple, silent, and profoundly powerful ritual to perform the instant you experience a quantum pre-echo. When the glitch happens, the flicker in reality, the sonic boom from your future, you will do this. First, you pause. You stop everything you are doing for just 1 second. Second, you take one single, deep, conscious breath. This breath is a somatic anchor. It grounds the signal from the quantum field into your physical body. Third, you whisper, either internally or so softly that only the universe can hear, 3 simple words: "I see you," followed by 4 more: "I am ready." This is not a plea. It is not a wish. It is an act of quantum correspondence. It is a confirmation, a handshake across timelines. You are telling the unified field that the signal has been received, the connection has been established, and you are in conscious cooperation with the timeline collapse. Each time you perform this protocol, you strengthen the energetic and neural pathways to your new reality, making it easier for more pre-echoes to break through, accelerating the final convergence. It transforms you from a passive observer of strangeness into an active validator of your own evolution. But how do you know? How do you differentiate a true quantum pre-echo from the projections of your own desire, your own ego? This is the art of the signal keeper, and the distinction is found not in the mind, but in the feeling. Egoic desire feels charged. It is loud. It comes with a feeling of neediness, of grasping, of anxiety. It is the intense hope that the person you miss will call, followed by a phantom phone vibration. It feels like it comes from inside you, a projection of your own longing onto the canvas of reality. There is a tightness to it, a feeling of lack. A true quantum pre-echo feels objective. It is quiet. It often arrives when you least expect it, concerning things you weren't even thinking about. It lands with a sense of surprise, of curiosity, and is often emotionally neutral or carries a subtle, inexplicable peace. It doesn't feel like a wish. It feels like a fact from another dimension that has momentarily bled through. The pre-echo is a feather that lands on your hand from an unseen bird. Egoic desire is trying to snatch a bird from the sky. One is pure reception. The other is forceful interference. To be a signal keeper is to learn the profound difference between allowing and grasping. This is your framework, a log for your mind and a protocol for your soul, a way to discern truth from noise. This is how you move from the uncertainty of waiting to the practical confidence of participation. You are no longer a passenger hoping the destination is real. You are a conscious co-pilot, watching the instrumentation, acknowledging the signals from the destination port, and assisting in the smooth landing of your own soul. You are an active, conscious participant in the collapse of your own timeline into its highest destiny. So take a moment, with this new clarity. What is the first pre-echo you will begin looking for, now that you know how to recognize it? Is it a number sequence? A specific symbol? A feeling of a place you know you are moving to? Set your intention not to force it, but to simply be aware of its potential arrival. You are calibrating your receiving equipment. This is your commitment. This is your practice. Your new identity as the signal keeper is not a metaphor. It is your function until the singularity of October completes its convergence. Comment with one commitment you're making to become a better signal keeper. Whether it is starting your log tonight or practicing the protocol with your whole heart, declare it now. Anchor your new role in the physical world with a digital commitment. Let this be your first official act as the guardian of your new frequency. The key has turned in the lock. The door you've been pressing your ear against for so long, listening for the faintest echo of a life that felt more true, now stands open before you. The act of recognizing the quantum pre-echo was not the destination. It was the final turn of that key. It was the graduation ceremony from a reality defined by waiting and watching. Take a breath. Feel the profound shift in the very air around you. This is not an ending. This is the true beginning. Everything that came before, the searching, the doubting, the sensing, was merely the entrance exam, and you have passed. The playing field has changed entirely. The old world, the reality you just left behind, operated on a system of signs and signals. It required you to be a masterful receiver, a sensitive antenna attuned to whispers from the future. Your primary task was to listen, to notice, to validate the cosmic breadcrumbs leading you home. But that game is over. In this new space, on this higher timeline, the rules of engagement are rewritten. You are no longer here to simply receive the signal. You are here to become the signal. The paradigm shifts from passive reception to active, conscious creation. The universe is no longer just sending you signs to prove that it is listening. It is now handing you the broadcast microphone and asking, "What reality shall we create today?" This is the terrifying, exhilarating truth of your new existence. Your consciousness is no longer just an observer, collapsing a pre-existing wave of potential. Your consciousness is the very instrument that generates the waves. Waiting for signs is now an obsolete strategy. It is like a master painter waiting for the canvas to tell them what to paint. The time for waiting is over. The time for creating is now. This brings us to a new frontier, a new set of questions that will define this next chapter of our collective journey. The old questions were, is it real? Is it coming? The new questions are infinitely more powerful. Now that you are in this new reality, what are its rules? How do you navigate a world that responds not to effort, but to frequency? How do you build with the higher vibrational energy that is the very substance of this timeline? These are not trivial inquiries. We are like explorers stepping onto a new continent where the laws of physics seem to have changed. The old tools of hustle, force, and struggle have no purchase here. The new tools are resonance, coherence, and focused intention. We must learn the language of this place. We must understand its sacred geometry, its vibrational architecture. We must learn how to build a life, a career, a relationship not with bricks and mortar, but with the focused energy of our own heart and mind. This is the shift from being a passive receiver of reality to becoming an active co-creator with the universe. It is the most profound identity upgrade a soul can experience. You are no longer a passenger on a timeline, hoping for a good destination. You are the navigator and the engineer, charting a course into the field of infinite possibility. The universe ceases to be a distant commanding force and becomes your most intimate collaborator, your divine partner in the dance of existence. It no longer brings you things. It builds them through you. Your joy becomes a creative instrument. Your peace becomes a blueprint. Your love becomes the foundational energy for all that you manifest. See this moment for what it is. You are standing at the threshold, having walked through the door. Before you lies a vast new landscape. It is not pre-built. It is not furnished. It is a canvas of pure, shimmering potential, waiting for the first stroke of your intention. The light is different here. The gravity is lighter. The very substance of this place is possibility itself. You have been given the ultimate gift, a blank slate and the divine authority to create upon it. So let this be the first official act in your new reality. Now that you know the door is open, what is the first thing you will build in the landscape of your new reality? Do not think with your old mind. Feel with your new frequency. What is the first truth you will anchor? The first feeling you will make manifest? The first project you will animate with your spirit? This is not a dream. This is the work. This is the art. This is the purpose of your arrival. Learning to be a masterful creator is a journey in itself. It is a new skill set, a new way of being that we must cultivate and master together. Recognizing the signal was the final exam of your old reality. Learning to transmit your own is the first lesson of your new one. We will explore the physics of this new world, decode its principles, and learn to build with its light. Subscribe so we can walk through this new reality together and learn its language. The greatest adventure has just begun.